For my LS2 Explorer, the carbon, I needed a camera mount. So there was two options really, to have a stick-on one or to have the Django, I think Django clamp. But on this Explorer, there's like a material chin guard there. So my concern was the clamp would crush this and rip it or something. So I went with a stick-on one from Chin Mounts. It's arrived today basically, and I wasn't going to bother with a video. However, there's a couple of, say, small annoying issues with it that are probably worth being aware of before you go down this route. It's nice and light, it's 3D printed, which I knew, and it's fairly inconspicuous because there was another one I saw which stuck out quite a lot, and I thought, well, having that permanently stuck to the crash helmet, storing it, you're going to snap it off, you know, it's more chance of it ripping off. This is quite low profile, which I liked, so that's good. But when you stick it, or you offer it up to where it's going to sit, the actual shape of it, it kind of just fits. And I think what it was is they designed the actual trim itself to be the perfect shape for this profile here and here. But then when you add the pads to it, it pulls it up and makes it could do with being wider. So there isn't a lot of contact area. When you get to this side, I don't know if this is going to come out at all, but see, there's not a lot of contact area. Already what I've had to do is, where these pads were overhanging, they bridged this trim here. So you'd have this big gap underneath. Well, from years in the motor trade, it doesn't take a lot, once you lift one of these trims up, to get a bit of moisture underneath it, it'll peel it off. So I've chamfered the edge off of this trim, but I'm still not convinced now that I've gone down the right route. I think the clamp might have been a better option, because it's just not quite there. There's an awful lot of there's a big flat panel here which they could have used, and they're only using probably, I don't know, 2/3 of it, maybe three quarters of it, to be fair. So if you look, see where that sits there, it could have gone right over to there, which would have given you a bigger surface area, more pad. Because if you look at the size of this pad, it's quite thin. The tip of it's probably a 3mm, 4mm at a push. Now I know I've chamfered it, but I've actually got more contact area now than before I chamfered it, because it was stuck over a bump, if you know what I mean. So you had this air gap underneath it, which is only going to be bad. So I'm not completely convinced this is going to be any good at all. But however, for the benefit of the doubt, it's too late, the thing's here now. So I'm going to go and stick it on. In the packet you get the chin mount, obviously. And there's a safety tether, which is just basically a piece of string and a pad that sticks on, so it's like a second line of defence were that to come off. Get your wipes, a wet and a dry, and then some looks like stickers, yeah, and then your instructions. Only install your chin mount in the same spot as advertised, so basically refer to their website and it will show you where it's supposed to go. Step 2, using the provided alcohol wipe down the application area and let the alcohol dry up. So I'm guessing we're using number 1, which is the wet one. What the dry one's for, I don't know. Peel back the red adhesive cover and apply heat to the adhesive with a hairdryer or a heat gun, so it is warm, not hot, for 5 to 10 seconds. So we're basically going to have to warm this up once we've peeled these red bits off. And then apply it only to the adhesive, not the front of the chin mount itself. When attaching the chin mount to your helmet, apply pressure evenly across the chin mount for 60 seconds. Sometimes it is possible for small gaps to appear in between the 3M adhesive and the helmet. This is caused by improper placement or not enough pressure. And then let it sit for a minimum of 24 hours. 72 hours if no hairdryer or heat gun was used. It needs to cure properly. Right, okay, so basically get it on there and then let it sit for as long as possible before putting the camera on. I don't think we'll be using a dry one, I may be wrong. Instructions, that bag there. Safety tether we'll do later. For now, first thing is to clean where we've had our sticky fingers all over it. So if we get that, I'm guessing this is just isopropyl alcohol or whatever you'd call it. give this a good clean, don't skimp with this. And then let it sit. You want that to evaporate because obviously this will affect the glue going on. But yeah, there's a nice big wide area here. If they'd have made it the same shape as that, you'd have a massive contact area. There'd be no danger of it coming off. I'll peel this off. Try not to touch it. Now from my dealings with the little bits that I chamfered off, it's really sticky, which is a good thing. That is fiddly, isn't it? Right, so that's off. I'm going to warm this up and then I'll have to go around that side to stick it on, because unfortunately this is I want to show you how this goes, but it's a one and done. If I get this wrong, that's kind of the start and finish of this one. So before you take the red backing off, do a test fit so you know where this is going to sit, because on this one it's completely flat there, and then just at the bottom here it kicks up. So if this is sitting on that where it kicks up, it's going to put a gap underneath here. You'll be sitting, it'll be bridging the gap, if you know what I mean, like this. So I've got to bring it down so that it fits in nicely. But I've done a test fit, so I know roughly where this has got to sit now. So now we've got to warm this up. It says get it warm, not hot. So 1,000, 3,000, 5,000. 10,000. Hopefully that's enough. Now this is a bit I've got to just do it and worry about what you see later. I want to get that in there like this. That's as far down as I want to go. Make sure that's centered. And then we're in. Now I've got to hold this for 60 seconds. Thank you, dog. I won't put you through this. I'll pause it. So this has been on for a minute, but also what I did is I put the actual camera mount on there just in case there's any deflection. So I'm going to leave that in there while it's setting. And that's basically it. So yeah, that's the chin mount. I'm unsure about this one. It looks neat, exactly what I was looking for. Just a bit, I think it could have been better. I think that's the problem. If it were me, I would have belt and braces. I would have made it the footprint as wide as possible. Maybe even come up here. But the tape is sticky. It's sticky, all right. But yeah, I'll let that set. I'm going to give it probably a couple of days before I put a camera anywhere near this. And then I'll put the tether on it as well. I think that's be a good move. But yeah. Hopefully this one's helped you out. If you're thinking about one of these, just be aware they've got their little quirks. But I mean, the actual idea is nice and neat. Time will tell whether or not this was the right move or not, but hopefully it doesn't cost me a camera. But yeah, watch this video next. I'll see you on the next one. If you're still here, think of this as a little bonus. On this helmet, there's no flat surfaces, it's all curved. And the tether's a bit flat, and I just didn't trust it. So what I've done is on the inside, I've stuck the safety tether pad on the inside there, and then poked it through the grill, so it'll come out the front, so it's not hanging down. And then I can tie this to whatever I want to tie it to once the camera's mounted, but it's just coming out through the grill. Because I didn't want cables hanging down. I'm going to do the same with my mic lead. I'm going to make a hole in here bigger and push the cable through, because this vent's kind of redundant. I know they wanted to keep it, but you can't really get to it. You can just about sort of reach that there to shut it off. So yeah, it's awkward. I don't see that vent ever being shut again. So yeah, there we go, safety tether out for the grill.